Hello, guys, and welcome to Odds on Bundesliga 12 match day. Hello, Radek.
All Hello, good? Happy to be here and looking forward to this game day 12 now.
Bayern Munich getting very close to Union Berlin before the break to the World Cup. So let's analyze all the games. Remember, guys, to comment the Bundesliga with us and, of course, press the like and subscribe. As usual, we have a game on Friday. We have Werder Bremen Hertha with Werder Bremen falling a little bit in the standings, 2 consecutive defeats. They lost to Freiburg, they lost to Mainz. They are also out of the cup. And they are facing Hertha, that they are out of the relegation spots after beating Schalke, Radek, and not only that, only 1 defeat in the last 7 for the team in the capital.
Yes, it seems that Hertha is improving and they are hard to beat for sure. That's why I don't understand why Bremen, which you told us is in bad conditions at the moment, that they are favorite. And I don't think that's a good bet on Bremen here, as Hertha shows a better trend, and the odds on double chance on Hertha are 1.85 around. And I think, this is the better way to go.
Okay, Hertha to grab something to get a victory or a draw in Bremen. And let's move on to the games we have on Saturday. We have 5 games. Bayern Munich, Mainz, as I said at the beginning, before the break. Bayern want to take the lead, only 1 point away from Union Berlin, winning convincingly 2 tough games recently against Freiburg at home and away against Hoffenheim and Mainz. I remember, Radek, that your safe bet the previous week was Mainz are not going to lose against Cologne. Well, 5-0 for them.
Yes, that was really impressive. I didn't expect it in that amount and that clearness, but it shows that Mainz is really a good team as always. And my colleague at the German channel, 𝐿𝐭𝐿𝐴𝐻𝐿, is a huge fan of Mainz. he told me that Bo Svensson, their coach, deserves every honor to be the best coach in the year and in the recent 10 years, because he managed it to make out of a really small team like Mainz a really compatible team. And they made a point at home against Leipzig, and now they beat Cologne, as Cologne was a second league or third league team. They even won against Werder Bremen 2 weeks ago. They are in the next round of the cup. So Mainz is really good out of their situation. They are a small team with a small budget, but Svensson managed to make them dangerous, as dangerous that they won against Bayern Munich last season at home, 3-1. And enough for Mainz. At the end, they are playing at Munich, and this is a point where very few teams are able to take a point or even win. And I don't think Mainz is really in a position to beat Bayern Munich at the moment, because Bayern Munich is also back on track. And at the moment we record this video, we don't know how Bayern Munich plays against Barcelona in the Champions League. This can be interesting, but at the end, I think it's not really affecting the game against Mainz, and Bayern should win this game. And the odds on Bayern are not special. I only tell this, that I won't bet against Bayern Munich with some kind of Asian handicap on Mainz, which can always be attractive, but not against Bayern Munich in my eyes. But we should see some goals. So over 3.5 goals has odds of 1.84. I really don't like these bets, and I don't like these odds under 2 for these. But if I would say in a tip game, I would say 3-1 or 3-2. That means both teams to score is another option, and we get odds of 1.7 for that. So yeah, we can I would say this is the best odds I can find in this game, but they're not really great. So the best thing is sometimes not betting on every game, and this game is hard.
By the way, Mainz is the best away team in the Bundesliga with 12 points, 4 victories and 2 defeats, only 9 goals conceded. So
yeah, they should score maybe. That's why I prefer both teams to score over Asian handicap bet on an underdog in this situation, because I think it's easier for Mainz to score than to keep the game close. So if they score at a 1-4 or 1-5, they also we can also win the bet both teams to score. But at the end, it's still low odds of 1.7 here.
Let's see if you like better the odds for Leipzig to beat Leverkusen, which seems the likely option here, because Leipzig, they suffer when they play away, as they showed us against Augsburg, but at home they are very reliable. They won the last 4, and I'm not sure if you are seeing something better from Leverkusen since Xabi Alonso arrived to the bench. They drew against Wolfsburg in the last game.
Yeah, and point against Wolfsburg was the second game he didn't lose because he lost 5-1 against Leverkusen and 3-0 against Porto in the Champions League, and now they have to play at Atletico Madrid. I think it should not be a good evening for Real Madrid former star Xabi Alonso at Atletico. And the whole Bayer Leverkusen team, I don't understand why they sacked Seoane, and Xabi Alonso, is struggling in his first games a lot. He managed to win against Schalke, but that is nothing special. And the other games, were not that brilliant. So everything else than a win for Leipzig is no option. The odds are a bit higher than I expected. I expected around 1.6 for a Leipzig win, as Leipzig is at home. Leipzig is clearly in a better shape, and they also have the better players, and now even seemingly the better coach with Marco Rose, former Gladbach and Dortmund coach. So, Leipzig should win. 1.8 is a good odd for that.
Great. Next game is Stuttgart. Augsburg, I'm surprised to see these very low odds for Stuttgart to win at home. They are in the bottom 3. It's true that they won the last home game, but was against Bochum, and Augsburg, as they showed against Leipzig. Remember, they were leading 3-0. They are always dangerous. Radek, they only lost 1 in the last 6. That's why I'm surprised to see Stuttgart, not that favorite.
Yes, makes no sense, and that's why that's what we call value. And the only point I can see why Stuttgart is the favorite here might be that they're playing at home, and but they're not a great home team as well. Only 1 victory at home, and this was also nothing special. And it was a victory against Bochum, which everyone should beat because they are last in the standing. Augsburg, on the other side, had recently very good games, and you named it. They were leading 3-0 against Leipzig, which was awesome. But at the end, they lost the second half 3-0, and they made 3-3 out of it. So 2 lost points against Leipzig. But at the end, it shows Augsburg is capable to score a lot of goals. They scored 3 against Leipzig and 2 against Bayern Munich in the cup, no matter that they lost 5-2 against Bayern Munich. But scoring twice against Bayern Munich, who can say that? Stuttgart also can say that because they also played 2-2 against Bayern Munich this season. I always said Stuttgart is better than their position, and I'm still convinced about that. But I'm also sure that Augsburg is better than the odds, and that's why we have 2 options: betting on a draw. Odds are 3.8. But what if Augsburg wins this game? What is not impossible? I would say the best bet in this game is for sure a double chance on Augsburg. Odds are 2.0. And they, in this situation, they should at least keep 1 point or take 1 point from Stuttgart. If they don't, I also wouldn't be surprised, because every game is very coin flipping in the Bundesliga at the moment. And so Stuttgart also is a good team, and so we don't bet on surprisings or something like that. We bet on facts, and the facts tell me that the odds on Augsburg are great.
Imagine if it's difficult to predict the Bundesliga this season, that Bochum, bottom of the table, beat Union Berlin.
Yes, says everything, yeah.
In the previous match day. Now Bochum going to Wolfsburg, the worst team playing away, 0 points for Bochum this season. Wolfsburg is still with problems, but I guess it's time to win for Wolfsburg.
Yeah, that is a must win. They should win after having some good games. So if you watch at the last games of Wolfsburg, they collected some points. They didn't lose the last 5 games or so in a row. And 4 games in the league, 1 in the cup against Braunschweig, where they advanced to the round of the last 16 teams. And now, after 3 draws in the Bundesliga, they're playing at home against maybe the weakest team in this year with Bochum. So they must win this game. And the odds are 1.7. And I think that's good enough, because in a game of a good team like Wolfsburg, in a situation against a bad team like Bochum, I would have expected around 1.5 or 1.6 in odds, but the odds are 1.7, so that's value, and betting on Wolfsburg is a good option.
Next game, a very good one, Frankfurt-Dortmund, because Frankfurt, they are in good form. They beat Gladbach 1-3, 4 victories in the last 5. Imagine that the only defeat came against Bochum. Another Champions League team, no? Like Frankfurt losing to Bochum, whereas for Dortmund 5-0 against Stuttgart, but they were not coming from a great run. Perhaps you also see some value on Frankfurt in this game.
Could be. Very difficult. I don't really trust Dortmund anymore, so I don't see them as a favorite with odds of 2.3. I also think that Frankfurt will perform better against the good teams in the standings, and they for sure won't underrate Dortmund in this game. And besides the last result of Dortmund in the league, where they were beating Stuttgart with 5 goals, it was no really good season for Dortmund so far. Drawing against Bayern Munich, okay, they show a little uptrend, but at the end, they are still depending on the daily form. And if they are not in their best shape against Frankfurt, I think it's gonna be very hard for Dortmund. And I like a draw here with odds of 3.75. Or maybe, we should look at the double chance on Frankfurt, maybe. Double chance with a win or draw on Frankfurt is 1.65. That's a bit too low for a single bet, but okay for an ACCA. So at the end, Asian handicap 0 for Frankfurt, 2.18. It's not better, because I really don't think Frankfurt is winning, and I don't think Dortmund is winning. So my favorite odds are on a draw here.
We have so many comments, Radek. The draw master, so the first draw in this.
That's day. Only because it has the best risk to reward ratio, as we say in the finance language and at the stock market. you get a huge odd of 3.7, and you have a risk of losing in about 30%. Of 60% of the games, but you win at least 30% of the games. So at the end, high odds on draws give you the most money, especially in situations like that where you can't name a clear winner. For sure you can if you're a fan of one of the teams, or you like gambling. But if you just playing the odds, we do on Oddspedia, then I think you have to love draws and find good draws, then you're better off.
Let's see, next 3 games on Sunday. Union Berlin Gladbach. As I said, Union Berlin is still top of the table, but they lost to Bochum. But at home, they are much more reliable this season. They haven't lost, and they beat Dortmund, for instance, recently. And they are facing Gladbach in travel. Gladbach, they are not in great form as well. Only 1 victory in the last 4. The issue also is Union Berlin are playing an important game in European football against Braga, and perhaps now they are tired, no? Radek, playing every 3 days.
Yeah, that can be, but I think that is not that tough, because they're playing on Thursday against Braga at home, and they have some time for Sunday playing against Gladbach also at home. So at least they don't have to travel to Portugal, and so it would be a difference to have this travel route before the game. But everything you said, Gladbach is very disappointing in some games, and in other games they were brilliant, but in most of the cases they are not performing great. That Union Berlin is still leading in the Bundesliga is kind of a miracle, but they're collecting points. They are really, really hard to beat, but okay, the last one in the standings, Bochum, was able to beat them. And I told you last week that I'm aware of Bochum, because Union Berlin is not 100% focused in games like that. Remember, last season there was 𝐿𝐴 last in the standings, no victory at all, playing against Union Berlin at home. They won against Union Berlin, and now also Union Berlin gave away their points to the last in the standings. So they are a kind of German Robin Hood, taking points from the good teams and giving away it to Bochum and such teams, but not to Mönchengladbach. So yeah, should be a value here that Mönchengladbach is not winning the game. For sure they can, but I like the bets on Asian handicap 0 on Union Berlin, minus Asian handicap minus 0.25. That means if there's a draw, you only lose half of your bet. And if Union Berlin is winning, the odds are 1.86.
All right, next game we have Schalke Freiburg. Schalke already bottom of the table after that victory of Bochum, also out of the cup. They lost the last 5. So again, really bad things happening in Gelsenkirchen. And hosting Freiburg cannot get better. I think Freiburg to win 1.95 is not that bad, no?
Yeah, should be like in other games that Freiburg is the way better team and should win a game like this against Schalke, struggling very hard. And what I've read is that Schalke only won about 3 of their last 60 games in the Bundesliga, something like that around. And that is, that is really hard, that they are not really better than in the season when they went down. Only losses in the last games, so what else should happen than losing against Freiburg here? 1.9 is okay, we can bet on Freiburg. I personally won't bet money on this, because even Schalke at home has to win someday, and Freiburg is not a game where I want to put my money on if you don't get a lot of money back, and 1.9 is not a lot of money. I really think that both teams to score no is an option here, because we get odds of 2.25, and I can hardly Schalke see scoring goals against one of the best defenses in the league. Remember, Freiburg only got 8 goals in this season, if you accept the 5 goals against Bayern Munich. So yes, in 10 games they conceded 8 goals and 5 against Bayern Munich. But yeah, so Freiburg has one of the best defenses, and I think I will bet on Schalke not scoring. I don't know if Freiburg is winning, if this is the better option with 1.9. But even if there's a 0-0, both teams to score no is an option. And maybe Schalke wins with 1-0. We also win the bet. So we have more options in winning the bet on both teams to score no.
All right, and the last game is Cologne Hoffenheim, 2 teams that are not in great shape. The Hoffenheim only 1 victory in the last 5. It looks like after a great start. They are going down, whereas for Cologne, of course, they are not great because they received 5 from Mainz, but at home, they won the last 2, so they are still very competitive when they play at home. Last time I checked the odds, Radek, it pays exactly the same, the victory for Cologne than from Hoffenheim.
Yeah, I think it's kind of balanced, and the odds are leading to a draw. And yeah, I don't have more to say for that. Everything you said, that Hoffenheim is also after a great start going down, but same with Cologne, and they only had 1 victory in the last 5 games. And this was against Augsburg at home, where I expected them to lose because they have a lot of problems in the personal situation. They also have to play at 𝐜𝐴𝐴𝐽𝐿 in the Europe Conference League. So I won't say Cologne is the favorite here, not at all. And Hoffenheim, so is also hard to predict. I would say a draw is good for 3.6, but Asian handicap 0 on Hoffenheim is also a good thing, and I would prefer that as a single bet.
All right, Radek, tell me your safe bet then for this weekend.
Yeah, so in the Bundesliga, to find a safe bet is really, really hard at the moment. But I have one I like best is really that Freiburg is not losing at Schalke. So because Schalke, yeah, why should Schalke win this game? And we can play an Asian handicap 0 on Freiburg here with odds of 1.4 in an 𝐿𝐴𝐴𝐽𝐿. Also, this is good to combine with other bets.
Tell me then, 𝐬𝐿𝐴𝐴𝐽𝐿.
As I said, Hoffenheim should not lose against Cologne. We get odds of 1.5 for Hoffenheim double chance. And the third one I would bet is Union Berlin not losing at home against Mönchengladbach, as they are really hard to beat at home, and Gladbach was not that impressive. So also Asian handicap 0 on Union Berlin is 1.55. These 3 bets together is 3.2 around, depending on where you bet. Compare odds on Oddspedia and find the best odds for this 𝐿𝐴𝐴𝐽𝐿.
All right, thanks Radek, thanks everyone for watching. Remember to leave your comments and of course press the like and subscribe. See you next week. Bye bye.
Thanks. Bye.